Hey, it's what day is it? What is today? Tuesday.
Tuesday, I
It's
guess.
Tuesday. I am really trying hard to calm down. It takes a lot for to make me upset and to make me angry. I typically stay at peace, and even right now I'm struggling with myself because we saw Luna today again, and so thank you, Lord, for that. And the sisters played, and Luna got a magic wand, and so she froze and unfroze me 20 times or so and changed me into a frog and all kind of stuff. So that was fun. And we painted some sun catchers, and she and her sister did lots of things in the courtyard. But I'm angry. There was a family meeting today, and the purpose of the family meeting was to, see if Iba and I could come to some sort of, solution for Muna's benefit. But the meeting probably lasted an hour and a half, and almost none of it was about Muna. Almost all of it was on the surface about he and I, and how we might be able to either reconcile or even not reconcile, but put our best foot forward for Muna. But it all came back to me. Is essentially on me by culture in this patriarchal society, and that's what was told to me by the parents. This is a patriarchal society, and even though it's run by the men, the women are supposed to, and me, are supposed to, what they said, control the reins, and that's steering the family forward. And it was told that it's up to me to make Iba feel better about this situation,
Which we tried.
which I've tried, which I've tried, in many ways, just by being nice and gentle, and certainly, working with people back home in city, county, and even federal government to try to create a way for him to return that would be best for everybody, and so that we could go on and raise Muna together. None of that has been accepted, and even tonight, I'm getting mad just thinking about it. It was told to me that, again, it's up to me to help him to forgive, to help him to feel better. You know, Bottom line, it's about Muna, so they said. But again, this conversation was maybe 2% about Muna, and every other part of it is how I, if we were to reconcile or get back together, how I need to do more to help him. So at a certain point, I won't even go into all the details. A lot of it was just, just too irritating to even say again, honestly. But, one of the things that really, really bothered me was, my ex-husband kept talking about honesty, 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 and how he couldn't trust me. And actually, the conversation led off with the parents, the father in particular, saying, hey, how can we build any trust here when every time you say that you're going to work with the family to try to make it better, you pursue legal processes? So I listened to them. My friend Edith was there interpreting. And I essentially said, I had no recourse. I went for nearly 8 months without contacting my child, speaking with her. And actually, it was more than that now that I think about it. It was about 4 months before the embassy was able to conduct a visit with her, and some months after that before I was able to start getting regular updates. I don't think it was until I went to Mali last year. My memory's a little hazy, but I don't think it was until I went to Mali last summer that I actually talked to her. So that was, a year and a half into it before I saw my child again. So what recourse did I have except to pursue this from a legal matter? Which I reminded them, by the way, that it was Muna's father who was the one who petitioned for the divorce, who was the one who petitioned for custody. And as a matter of fact, it was Muna's father that came here to Bamako and entered the Kentucky court decision, which the court upheld, which then he appealed. And so it's just so much double talk and so much double standard. And it's taking everything that I can, even right now, to keep my composure. It's very, very frustrating, and essentially, again, it's all on me to make this man feel better so that he can give me access to our child. I'm just done. The ray of hope for today, anyway, is that we went to the commune 4, as they call it in French, tribunal, and the procureur general, who is I think the court administrator is a loose translation, was not happy that that Risa, who was with me, had not seen Muna in 2 years, but also that I was still, having to fight to see her. She was impressed by the fact that Raza and I just set out in the neighborhood in Lafiabugu to go find her, and I'm impressed by that.
It's a massive neighborhood.
It's massive. It's huge, and every single domicile looks the same. But God led us by wisdom and by total recall straight to the door where the parents and she and my ex-husband live. So at the tribunal today, the Procurator General reviewed the appeal orders and said, hey, it's just now a matter of enforcement. You're supposed to have her today. Today is July 1st. And I looked at her, but through my interpreter and friend Edith, I said, he's not going to abide by any court orders. He told me out of his own mouth he doesn't care. He doesn't care about a U.S. court order. He doesn't care about a Mali court order. That didn't sit very well with her because she essentially said, well, he's not above the law. I just looked at her because, I'm hopeful that tomorrow, she said, tomorrow you go to this family meeting and see what happens. And obviously nothing came to that. And tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we should be able to get enforcement. Now I'm not sure what that means at this point. And quite frankly, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just kind of done today. And I don't like feeling this way. I know that it was probably all over me when Riza and I visited with Muna tonight, because whatever I'm feeling, you kind of see it and feel it, and you can see it in my face. So I guess that's it for now, and tomorrow is another day. But this I know, my child is not staying here. She's not growing up in a culture that does not value children. I don't know if I told you this in yesterday's kind of little update, but when we went there, she was watching some really inappropriate stuff on TV. If you think U.S. soap operas are steamy, you can't even imagine what they're like over here, coming from Portugal and Brazil and whatnot. And she was watching some violent stuff on TV. Not Nick Jr., not this, not that. They did turn that on eventually, but only after she was completely engrossed in these other things. But more than that, they have expectations for out of their own mouths at this family meeting. It was suggested that they have the same expectations for Muna's father, who is 51 years old, as they do for her, and she's 6. Because according to the culture that she grew up in, the firstborn child of Iba, who is a firstborn son himself, she's supposed to eventually lead, this clan, the Njai clan. And that may be how it turns out. She's a child right now. And she will be a child as far as it is possible with me. So what I'm about to do right now is probably, just go outside and walk around, because I'm getting angry again, even talking about this. And then I have to remember where my help is coming from. Early this morning, I had a dream, and in the dream I saw, the number 37 written down. And when I woke up, it occurred to me that I ought to go and look up Psalms 37. And it's all about what happened today in terms of, not being angry like I am now when I see wickedness flourishing, because it'll soon be cut off. Oh yes, it's going to be cut off. Not by my hand, although I would chop it off at the head if I could. But I trust in my God, who has not failed us this far. Good night.